They never thought it would be their last normal day. No warning, no final goodbye, no sign that everything was about to change. They woke up, checked their phones, made coffee, kissed their loved ones, and stepped into a day that would end in tragedy. Because sometimes, history's most shocking moments don't begin with alarms. They begin with ordinary mornings. Today we're looking at real stories of people who had no idea their final day had begun. Stay with us, because the last story will stay with you long after this video ends. We live our lives assuming tomorrow will come. We plan, we postpone, we promise later. But for some people, later never arrived. From routine flights to casual outings and everyday decisions, these are the moments that turned ordinary days into unforgettable tragedies. 1. The flight that never landed. On the morning of September 11, 2001, thousands of passengers boarded flights across the United States. Among them were people heading to business meetings, vacations, and family visits. They joked with flight attendants. They listened to music. They thought about what they'd do when they landed. None of them knew they were part of a day that would change the world forever. Within hours, the attacks on the World Trade Center turned ordinary travelers into victims of one of the deadliest events in modern history. Their last day began like any other. Routine, predictable, normal. And that's what makes it so haunting. 2. A selfie at the edge. In recent years, a dangerous trend has emerged, chasing the perfect selfie. Cliffs, skyscrapers, train tracks. For some, the pursuit of a viral moment ended in fatal accidents. One young traveler stood at the edge of a cliff, smiling for the camera, seconds before losing balance. Friends later said it was supposed to be a fun day trip. No one imagined it would end in grief. A normal day, one risky decision, a permanent consequence. 3. The concert that turned deadly. Concerts are meant to be celebrations, music, lights, and shared joy. But in 2021, a crowd surge at a major music festival turned excitement into chaos. Fans arrived early, laughing and taking photos. They wore their favorite artist merch. They planned to remember the night forever. Tragically, they did, but not for the reasons they expected. What began as a normal evening became a disaster that shocked the world and sparked conversations about crowd safety. 4. A routine. Drive home. Most people don't think twice about getting into a car. It's routine, automatic. But for thousands each year, a simple drive home becomes their final journey. One father left work early to surprise his children. A teenager drove to meet friends. A couple headed out for groceries. They never reached their destination. No dramatic choices. No warning signs. Just an ordinary day that ended too soon. 5. The last message. In the age of smartphones, final moments are sometimes preserved in texts. See you soon. On my way. Love you. Messages sent without the slightest hint they would be the last. Families reread them, friends saved them. Not because they were profound, but because they were normal. And normal suddenly became priceless. 6. The elevator ride. It was just another workday morning. People stepped into elevators with coffee in hand, checking emails and adjusting ties. No one thought twice about pressing a button. But in rare mechanical failures and building emergencies, routine elevator rides have turned into deadly traps. For those inside, it began as a normal commute, a small, forgettable moment that became their last. 7. The beach day that changed everything. A sunny day, warm sand, laughter in the air. Families built sand castles while friends swam in the ocean. It looked like the perfect day. But strong rip currents claim lives every year, often silently and without warning. Many victims are strong swimmers. They didn't panic at first. They believed they were safe. It was just a normal beach day. Until it wasn't. 8. The workplace shortcut. He had done it 100 times before, skipping one safety step, taking a shortcut to finish faster. Coworkers saw it as routine, nothing unusual. But one small oversight in factories, construction in sites, and warehouses can turn deadly in seconds. Machines don't forgive mistakes. What felt like an ordinary shift became a permanent lesson in how fragile life truly is. 9. The storm. They underestimated the weather forecast, mentioned heavy rain. Nothing unusual. People went to work, kids went to school, shops stayed open, but flash floods and sudden storms can escalate within minutes. Cars get trapped, streets turn into rivers. For many, it started as just another rainy day, a day they believed they could manage. Nature had other plans. 10. The last online post. Out with friends. Best day ever. Living my life. Social media is filled with snapshots of happiness. Sometimes those posts become the final trace someone leaves behind. An accident, a sudden medical emergency, an unexpected tragedy. The timeline stops, frozen on a moment of joy. A normal day documented in real time. That quietly became the last. 11. The routine medical check. It was supposed to be a simple visit, a quick checkup, a routine procedure. Nothing to worry about, they were told. Family members waited outside, scrolling through their phones, expecting to go home within hours. But complications, rare, unpredictable, can turn routine medical visits into tragedy. What began as a normal appointment became a moment that changed families forever. 12. The late night walk. They needed fresh air, a short walk around the block, something they had done countless times before. Streetlights glowed. The neighborhood felt familiar, but accidents, sudden crimes, or unexpected encounters can turn safe streets into dangerous ones. For them, it was just another quiet night, till it became their last. 13. The celebration that turned silent. Birthdays, weddings, graduations, moments meant for joy. Guests laughed, music played, cameras flashed. But overcrowding, structural failures, or sudden emergencies have turned celebrations into tragedies throughout history. A day meant to be remembered for happiness became unforgettable for heartbreak. 14. The ordinary school day, backpacks packed. Lunchboxes ready, parents waved goodbye, expecting to see their children in the afternoon. Classrooms filled with chatter and routine lessons. But history has shown that even schools, places of learning and safety, are not immune to tragedy. For some families, that morning goodbye became the last. If this story made you pause and reflect, consider sharing it with someone who matters to you. And remember, the ordinary moments you overlook today may be the ones you cherish tomorrow. Take a second to appreciate the people beside you right now. Send that message you've been delaying. Forgive, reconnect, and hold your loved ones a little closer. Because life doesn't send reminders before it changes forever.